All right, class, no? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you, no? My discussion for today is all about basic accounting. All right, so it is more on the fundamentals of accounting, particularly with the accounting for receivables, no? So I will use the PowerPoint of Stice, no? And Albrecht, no? So we'll have this now as my PowerPoint, no? We'll discuss today, no? Number one, what would be the types of receivables? And number two, the account receivables itself, no? And number three, the valuing and the reporting of receivables. Number four, assessing how it is being managed or how the companies manage their receivables. And number five, about not receivable. I will not discuss the number six, no, the foreign currency. I will focus more on the number five only. Okay, sige. First thing, no, what do you mean of receivables? Now, receivables are claims for money, goods, and or services. Yes. Again, that's your claim for money, goods, and or services. Meaning to say, receivables here is part of your assets. It is part of your current assets. No? So claim for money, goods, and or services. There are two kinds of receivables. So you have your account receivable and you have your notes receivable. When you say about account receivable, a current assets represent or representing the money due for services performed or the merchandise sold. Please take note, it is on credit. Alright, utang, no, sa Tagalog. In terms naman of your note receivable, you have a contract in the form of a note received by the company and it is written by its customers as a result of the company selling goods or providing services to the customers on credit. Now, again, they are the same, no? It is on credit. But in terms of the AR, it is based on your operating cycle, while in your note receivable, you have promissory note. Okay? And you have your contract. Alright. So meaning to say, no? So this is the sample, no? We go back to our debit and credit, no? So activity selling of a product and or service. If you notice, if you accept an order, there is no entry. There's no journal entry. If you deliver it, no, so if you deliver it to to your customer, the entry here is debit AR and credit sales. Meaning to say your cost of goods sold will also increase and inventory will decrease because you debit cost of sales and you credit your inventory. What would be the impact on your FS? Your AR will increase based on your sales. Sorry, yes, because of your sales and you have your sales, it will also increase. That would be the impact. Okay? How about if there would be collections? So collect cash. So what is the entry? You debit cash and you credit naman your accounts receivable. What would be the impact of this? No? So of course cash will increase and AR will decrease. Okay? How about if there would be return? Okay? Sales returns and allowances and you have your AR or cash. Depende, no? If it is based on accounts, what you will credit here is account receivable. If it is based naman sa cash, you credit here cash. Okay? So, inventory will increase because you have return and you credit also cost of goods sold. Babawasan mo ang cost of goods sold. What will be the impact of this now in your FS? The expense will decrease, your revenue will decrease, your AR will decrease, and your inventory will increase. Why expense will decrease? Because of cost of sales, no? Ibig sabihin, tataas yung ating cost of sales. Okay? Alright, how about the revenue? Why it is revenue ay deduct, no? Because of the sales returns and allowances. While the AR is also decreased because you have your AR. And also we have our inventory. It will also increase. Alright, yan. Next one. Very important also is struggle. What if there would be non-payment? Alright, budget expense or allowance. Expense is increased and allowance is also increased. What is the entry? Budget expense and the credit naman allowance for doubtful accounts or doubtful account expense and allowance for account expense. Now, ibig sabihin, no collections, no? Provide continuable service, there would be warranty expense debit, and credit naman, warranty liability. So what is the entry for this? What is the effect of this? So expense is increase and liability will also increase, no? And that would be your uh, effect. Okay? Hopefully class, malinaw to ha. So that would be the receivables, no? Selling of a products and or services. Okay. Next one. So since we are following the IAS, no, the International Accounting Standards number 18, when a company, a reporting entity provides goods to its customers, it must satisfy all the conditions in order to recognize your revenue. So ano yung mga conditions natin? Okay? Number one, the entity has transferred the buyer all the significant risk and reward and in terms of the ownership. Ibig sabihin, you will transfer all the benefits na deliver mo na yung product. Okay? And number two, the entity retains neither continuing managerial involvement to the degree using associated with the ownership nor effective control. Ibig sabihin, there's no involvement na, no? You passed all the rights, no, to your customer, to your buyer, no? The amount of revenue can be measured reliably, yes, and it is probable that the economic benefits associated with transactions will flow to the entity and the cost of it in respect to the transactions can be measured reliably. So, yan ang sinabi, no, sa IAS number 18. In a way that you will report revenue. Okay? All right. Next one. So, in case that uh, the provisions of services, no, provides criteria for revenue as follows, no, how to recognize your revenue. Again, the amount of revenue can be measured reliably. It is probable that economic benefits will associate, no, with transactions will flow to the entity. All right. So number three, the stage of the completion of the transactions naman at the end of the reporting period can be measured reliably. And next one is the cost incurred of the transactions and the cost to complete transactions can be measured reliably. So madami pang mga criteria on how it is being measured, no? Particularly about uh, revenue recognition. So ibig sabihin, the account receivable are naka-base sa ating account sa ating AR. Yes, no? Nakadepende yan sa ating accounts receivable. Okay. So ito class discussions natin, no? Particularly for this, no? So Hot Pot Bakery for example, sold 30 jars of jam for cash and 20 jars of ham on credit at $10 each, no? And each hot pot recorded the sales are as follows. So of course, last you sold 30 jars, no? At $10. So ibig sabihin at $10, so you have uh, 30 times 10. Alright, so 300. Kaya lang, yung 20 jars utang muna, no? So it is based on your accounts receivable. Alright, that's why, pero class, 30 plus 20, yan dapat yung ating revenue, no? Yung 30 lang is that you receive it through cash, while 20 naman is based on your accounts receivable. Okay. So, next one. At the same time, another journal entry was recorded to reflect the decrease. Yan. So, ibig sabihin class, you need also to record, no? The cost of goods sold. Okay, so in particularly class, okay? So in particularly about if there would be sale of inventory, babawasan natin, no, yung ating inventory. So you debit your cost of goods sold of 400 and you have inventory of 400. And subsequent collections naman, of course, you have cash and credit naman account receivable. So that's a simple, no? And hopefully you still remember our discussions, no, in our basic accounting, right? Hopefully. All right. So in terms of your accounting for cash collections and account receivable, in terms of your T accounts, now the following T account shows or show the net results of these two transactions. So you have your cash, you have your account receivable, you have your sales revenue, you have your inventory, and you have your cost of goods sold. If you notice, your cash here, original sale is 300, then you have collections of account of 200, meaning to say you have a 500 pesos balance. Okay? So you have 5 pesos balance. Account receivable, you have 0 because you already paid for it. No? Then sales revenue is worth 500. Then the inventory here, it would depend if there would be beginning. Alright? So depende if there would be beginning. Alright? So for this, particularly for this, no? So we assume wala tayong beginning, no? Kaya hindi mo pa alam, no? Kung magkano. Okay? And we have your cost of goods sold of 400. Okay. Sales discount, no? As discussed also last time, no? To encourage the prompt payment of our customer, we will give a discount. Alright, so reduction in your selling price allowed if the payment, alright, if the payment is received within the specified period, no? If the $200, no, in Hot Pot Bakery credit sales were made with a discount of 2 tenths and 30, and if the customers paid within your discount period. So, yan. So, what if ganun yan, class? So, ibig sabihin, yan ay may discount, no? Magkano yung discount natin? 200 times 0.02. Why? Because of the 2 tenths and 30, no? 2 tenths and 30 meaning, if you will pay within 10 days, you have 2% discount and the credit term is 30 days. Now, ibig sabihin, you receive cash of 196, you have also sales discount of 4, and you have your account receivable of 200. Meaning to say, you will expect to have 200 cash, but because of the sales discount, you only receive 196 pesos. So, meaning to say, your sales discount is a contra revenue account. Yes, deducted from your sales. So, automatic class, it is to be deducted in your sales. Okay? Yan. You have also your sales allowances. No? Customers often returns the merchandise either because the item is defective or the variety or other reasons. Alright, illustrations assume that the before any payments and accounts are made, Hot Pot Bakery customers return goods that were sold to them at $150. $100 in returns were made by cash customers, and 50 naman will be made by credit customers. So, what is the entry? No? So, what if 150 is your goods return? So, ito a part of the sales return allowances of 150. Alright, then 100, and also we have 50. So, ibig sabihin, cash sales, bawas ka ng 100, then sa ating AR naman of 50. Alright. So, meaning to say, no, and also we also record the cost, no, of your goods. So, what if 120 is your cost, no? So, you debit inventory. Okay, so you will get you will uh, record back, no, your cost of goods sold, no. So depende, no, sa atin. Okay, ayan. So or about the 120, no. So again, same also, your SRA are also contra account deducted from your sales, no. They're all to be deducted from your sales. Okay, so what else? So again, you have your certain allowances, right? Assuming that the payment within the discount period on $150 balance in AR. Statement of comprehensive income for the revenue is as follows, no? So you have your 500, then you have your discounts, then you have your returns and allowances, all right? And you have your net sales revenue. So you have your net sales revenue. All right? So with this one, no? Your net sales would be 347. Ano yung formula natin, class? Sales revenue minus sales discount minus your sales returns and allowances. So, ano, class, ha? Yung formula natin. Okay? Ayan. Next one. Very important also class is what you call your gross sales and net sales, no? So what do you mean of gross sales and what do you mean of your net sales? Gross sales last, that's only your sales, no? Wala, before deducting your, before deduction of your sales discount and returns and allowances, no? Pag yan naman ay net sales, yun na yun. Gross sales minus this discount and returns and allowances. And that would be your net sales, no? Your net sales. Okay. Also, class, you have here what you call bad debts. Ano yung bad debts? May mga time, hindi nagbabayad yung iba, no? So, bad debts is an uncollectible accounts receivable. Okay, so there are two kinds. You have direct write-off method and we have allowance method. So what do you mean here of direct write-off method? Record actual losses from the collectible accounts as expenses during the period in which account receivable are determined to be collectible. Ibig sabihin, outright, no? Okay? Hindi yan permitted by the GAAP. It violates the GAAP. Okay? The allowance method naman, it record the impairment of the AR before they actually happened. And this is the allowance method. Yan ang ginagamit natin. Okay? Okay. So the allowance method assume the hot pot bakery estimated to have that due to the economic downturn and financial difficulties to its customers. Alright? The value of the account receivables to be impaired is $4,500. Alright, so ano class yung ating entry? Our entry here is your debit, your bad debt expense of 4,500, and your credit naman, your allowance for bad debts of 4,500. Class, ang ating bad debt expense ay selling expense yan on the statement of comprehensive income. Yun naman class allowance for bad debts ay contra account yan, no? Sa ating accounts receivable. Contra account for our account receivable. Okay. So, also class, for example, uh, Jake Palmer receivables for 1.5 is specifically identified as being uncollectible. Alright, actual losses are recognized and the balance for allowance for bad debt is reduced. So, allowance for bad debts, halimbawa, di na nakapagbayad, so we will deduct. Okay? 1.5 and your account receivable is also 1,500 to write off the uncollectible accounts of Jake Palmer. Okay. Also, allowance method, no? If you will now prepare your balance sheet, no? The net amount of AR after the 1.5 write-off is exactly the same as it was before. Before write-off, 50 minus 4.5. The net balance is 45.5. So, after write-off, if you notice, kasi class, di na napagbayad, account receivable, 50,000 minus 1.5, we have 48.5. And allowance for bad debts is also 3,000. And the net balance is 45.5. Ano ba ang tawag dyan? It is known as the net realizable value. The net realizable value of your account is NRV ang tawag dyan of your account receivable. No? Allowance for bad debts, actual write-off, debit. Pag credit naman, your estimated uncollectible accounts. Alright, sige. So, in terms of allowance method, no, reverse the write-off. The customer whose account has been written off as uncollectible layer pays the outstanding balance. Alright, so assume that Jake Palmer pays the 1.5 after his account was already been written off. Okay, ibig sabihin, tayo ay tayo ay parang to record, no? Babalik mo yung account receivable kasi nakapagbayad na siya. So what you will do here is you debit AR, ibabalik mo. Then we have your allowance for bad debts. Tapos last, there would be your debit cash and your credit naman, your account receivable. Why? Because of received payment of the previously written off receivable. Okay? You received the cash and babawasan mo yung account receivable. Okay. We have also here yung pagtawag nating estimated or estimating your uncollectible account receivable. Alright, so ibig sabihin, you will just compute no for the percentage kung magkano ba yung ating i-record ni uncollectible or budget expense, no? So, number one is the percentage of total receivables. The amount of the uncollectible is a percentage of a receivable balance at the end of the period. So, ibig sabihin, class, the percentage of it is now the balance of the receivable. Hot Pot Bakery estimates that at 12%, okay, and NT 50,000 in the year, account receivable is uncollectible. Magkano yung value of AR mo? 50,000 times 0.88. So, ibig sabihin, you have 44,000. Magkano yung credit balance mo? 50,000 times 0.12, you have 6,000. Yan. So, ganun na class ha. So, after that one class, you will now need to compute no for the net realizable value. Okay? So, if there's no existing balance in the allowance, so what you will do here is you debit bad debt kasi wala eh. Okay? And we have allowance for bad debts of 6,000. Eh, paano kung may balance eh? Class, estimating the account receivable, that would be your balance already. No? Alright? So, ibig sabihin, you will just minus no? So, you have budget expense of 4,000 and allowance for budget naman of 4,000. To adjust the allowance of the desired no inventory. Okay? Yan. Alright. Next one naman is all about aging of AR. Alright? So, aging of AR. Each receivable is categorized by a number of days it has been outstanding. Alright. So, aging, ito yung usual, no? If you have your own business class, usually, aging of receivable, no, is pinaka-famous, no? Because each receivable is categorized by the number of days it has been outstanding. How do we do this one? No? Each total is multiplied by the appropriate uncollectible percentage. That the older is receivable and less likely that the company is to collect. No? I think I have sample here. This one. So how do we do no? Especially about your estimating, no? Okay? So, halimbawa, si Adams may utang sa inyo, si Bartholomew, Christiansen, Dover, Ellis, Erland, Fisher, etc., etc., no? And the balance. So, ito yung mga utang nila, the balance, and we have your current. Whether it is current, ibig sabihin within 30 days, or 1 to 30 days, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, 91 to 120, or over to 120. Alright, so depende yan class. It is aging of receivables, no? Okay, estimating the losses naman from the uncollectible accounts. So you have your age, you have your balance, you have your percentage to be uncollectible, and we have the amount. So depende yan class sa company natin. Okay? So if the existing credit balance in the allowance for budget is 2,000, so may tayong balance. So ibig sabihin 5897 as computed kanina, no? And 5897 to minus 2,000. So budget expense is 3897 and allowance for budgets of 3897. Because the uncollectible account receivable kanina and also yung by aging no and by AR, kung ano class yung compute mo, yan yung ating required balance of your AR. Okay. Sorry. So, in terms naman of preparation of your FS, paano mo siya ipipresent, no? So, again, you have your account receivable and you will minus your allowance for bad debts. Please take note allowance for bad debts because it is a contra asset account. Magkano na yung ating net realizable value? 9,500. Okay? 9,500. How about naman in the statement of comprehensive income, you have your sales revenue minus operating expenses and you have your budget expense. Yan, ganun lang, okay? quiz yourself. Maybe I will give you this one na lang already, no? Alright, so I will um, skip this one, no? Alright, next one. Next one is all about your notes receivable. So what is your note receivable? Companies can also grant credit by a promissory note. Alright, so a formal credit instrument that has stronger legal claim, no? Because it is written, no? Alright, so if you have your own checks, so you have the amount, you have also the date, okay? Amount also, no? So, magkano yung ating rate, okay? Yan. And the signature of it, no? 1,000. Yan, so yan yung ating mga sample lang ha, sample lang yan. Okay. So, what is note receivable, no? So, note receivable is that it is, or characteristics class is that, ano siya, face amount. Yes, it is based on your face amount. Alright, the amount that is written on the note. And we have issuance date, the date of the note issued, no? Due date or maturity date kailan mababayaran, and the interest, okay, is often presented on the annual basis. Okay, so class illustration, assume that the OHO Tea Company accepted a 90-day 12% note that is dated on March 1, 2017. If settled and open an account receivable from Como Computer and the balance was 5, no? So, ibig sabihin, ililipat mo lang yung class, no? Alright, so particularly for the note receivable and also for the account receivable to settle our account receivable with our notes receivable. Okay? Yan. So, again yung walang kamatayang ano pa rin to, no? Yung walang kamatayang interest is equals to PRT. O, ganun pa rin yan, ha? Interest is equals to PRT. So, magkano class yung interest natin? $150, no? 5,000 times 12% times 3 over 12. Why 3 over 12? Because 3 months lang, no? Alright, so because of the 3 months. Alright, so what else, no? So, very important also, class. Uh, what if not received, no? From Como Computer on July 30. Okay? So, July 30. So, account receivable, ibabalik mo ulit, no? Alright? And also, we have note receivable of 5,000. And we have here 150. Okay? Pag hindi mo na honored, no? Dishonored note. Ibabalik mo na lang yan sa ating ibabalik mo lang yan sa ating sa ating account receivable. Okay? So in our account receivable. Okay, I think I will not discuss anymore the foreign currency, no? So kasi this is higher accounting already, no? My focus is only more on the concept of our basic accounting, which is specifically your account receivable. So again, thank you very much and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.